Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm on to another video here today, and I thought I'd talk about what got me into this and the importance of the subconscious. So about 12 or 13 years ago, maybe a little more, I had an encounter with the universe. And this is where I found out that we are here as spiritual beings living a temporary and a volunteered human life. And one of the first books that came through my hands with this was The Power of Your Subconscious by Dr. Joseph Murray. And the reason I'm bringing this book up here, this book was and it still is for me as a game changer. So whatever we think about comes about. So when we show up here as a volunteered experience, the soul chooses well-chosen parents, culture, religion, background, the ethnicity, the creed, and what makes this realm very, very special is all the emotional baggage that goes with it. And I was naive at one point. I had no clue about it. I had no idea what the context of it is. However, at one point is when the universe knocked in or stepped in as an intervention. What impacted me at one point was the disease in my own body where the skeletal system was starting to break down, and mentally and emotionally things were not so good. And I'll be honest, I mastered very well. I mastered well with a well-paying job, a six-figure job at the time. And I also had my other dream job as a commercial pilot. I had a nice sport bike. I was out skydiving in between. And on the outside, everything looked really nice. But on the inside, things were crumbling. So and I'm sharing this here as an inspiration for others that if you're going through this, there's another way out of this. So the power of your subconscious mind. So what we think about comes about. And anything you think about for 21 days, at one point, it's going to express itself either positively or negatively. There's many people that are talking of positive thinkings, personal development, self-development. I'm a huge advocate for ongoing learning, for self-growth, personal growth by all means. But what got me fascinated with this here is there's not too many that are talking about it. What happens if you go back inside, because we're on the inside as a spiritual being, and start addressing or clearing out the foundation. Meaning the inner stuff that whatever happened. So when we all show up here from the spiritual side as a volunteered assignment saying, yeah, we're going to go with these parents, we're going to go with these type of experiences, and then once you go through them, you start second guessing yourself, or what I had done, or there was a lot of reoccurring thoughts that were going through, or waking up, say, having nightmares, or having certain negative thoughts, like debt, or how am I going to make it through the day here, what's going on, I have this dream, I have this goal, and you find out at one point, for myself there, that these were old programs, and the old programs can be as simple as a word, and when it's amplified with a strong emotion, either negatively or positively, and once it gets lodged into the subconscious, that becomes as a new program. So I'm here to share with you that you can go in there and you can completely gut out the subconscious. Imagine, for as an example, you have a phone call, or you're thinking about somebody, or you're anticipating that phone call, or you get that gut feeling, or deep down inside you have a thought, you have a reoccurring thought, and it manifests. So when it manifests, there's an energy transfer from oneself, from myself to somebody else. So if I'm anticipating a phone call, and when that phone rings, and I'm already aware of it, I think it's this person that's calling, and sure enough, it is that person, meaning there's a cord there, there's an energy with this. So the subconscious it's a brain part of us, it's the physical brain there, it's the energy that's inside of it, like the software, that's what's most important. And the subconscious operates very much like a 5 or 6-year-old computer. Whatever you put in there, either positive or negative, is what you're going to get out of it. And unfortunately for some of us, myself as the example, you have a couple of rough experiences or a couple of tough experiences, and when it's not dealt with properly, unfortunately it follows us everywhere that we go. And I had a few things in my own life that were haunting me until at one point I made the decision I'm going to go back in there And once I found those cords, those emotional cords, or that emotional energy, and I started to unplug it. And most often, where does it come back to? It comes back to the childhood experience. Any and all interferences from the family, culture, religion, childhood experiences. And once you find it, there's like an energy attached to it. And when you go in there, you can unplug all this through a guided healing meditation. And doing this with somebody that's working with the light or as a healer, and from there you can fast track things very, very quickly. So when we show up here, it's not for the sake of working a job or pursuing a dream, which is all great. A big part of our physical experience in this 3D realm, which is a very low density frequency, is to go in here and on behalf of the soul is to close all the nonsense. And the moment that when I took ownership of it, I took my own personal responsibility of it, and I started finding out the rules of the game, much like in the book, that are the power of your subconscious. Step by step, things started to make sense. Things started to click. And when I started releasing whatever was up here in the back of my subconscious, it's like, oh my God, I had no idea I had all these different type of programs or all these belief systems or all of that programming for all the many years. And technically, it's not just from this lifetime, it's from many, many other past lifetimes that's been accumulated, and the energy has to go somewhere. So whatever we express, whatever we think about on a habitual basis is what's going to manifest. Once it's cleared out, and I got very lucky, you meet the right people, and with your own with my own persistence, or with your own persistence, you can do a lot of miraculous things. So we're also being supported by the universe, being in this 5D consciousness. So it's a wondrous opportunity to go in there, clean everything up, and once everything's cleaned up, then building things from the ground up on a solid foundation, and then reprogramming oneself with being positive, uplifting, positive thoughts, and whatever is required, whether it's positive actions. At the end of it, it's my own life. It's our own life, whatever we're doing with it. So either way, it's what I've learned here in the new consciousness. The option with either being sad or happy, or miserable and content, or whatever the opposite is, that option is no longer available. So if you're not liking things, ask yourself what's going on, or what's floating in the back of one's mind, and you can quickly unplug the whole string of it. It takes work. There's ownership involved with it, and none of us show up here with an empty suitcase. We all have another side of us that unfortunately most people have no clue about, myself included at one point. So some food for thought. Take care. Think about it. If you like it, like this, share it, get it out there, and some more details or some more stuff, input from Emotional Soul Healing. So my name's Seven Sherman. Wishing you all a wondrous day. Take care. Until next time.